Matthijs de Ligt is still open to a move to Manchester United, despite the Red Devils being unwilling to pay 50 million sterling for the Dutch defender, according to journalist Fabrizio Romano. There is an agreement in place between the player and his potential new club, but negotiations over a fee have hit a stumbling block, with United guaranteed to not pay the sum that Bayern Munich are asking, at least not before they make sales to formulate some funds. A critical part of the deal on United's side is the addition of add-ons and clauses to the deal, which would see them pay up the rest of the asking price across a longer period. But Vincent Kompany's side are unwilling to include this in negotiations. As Manchester United's summer plans get underway, with the arrivals of forward Joshua Zirkzee and young defender Leny Yoro having already been confirmed, the club remain interested in bringing aboard another centre-back, with De Ligt one of the leading choices at this moment. The 24-year-old, described as being world-class by Bayern sporting director Christoph Freund, struggled with a persistent injury last season that saw him fall down the pecking order behind Dayot Upamecano and Kim Min-jae, but recovered to form a strong partnership with former Tottenham defender Eric Dier. Bayern are open to moving the Ajax product onto a new side this summer, but only for the right fee, while the player is said to be willing to take a pay cut to make the move to Old Trafford. The Bavarian juggernauts are persistently asking United for a sum of 50 minute-earners, but the club are unwilling to allocate those funds unless they sought the departures of likes of Casemiro and Hannibal Mejbri. The defence is a position of necessary reinforcement for United, with the club constantly struggling with injuries in that area of the park last season. Raphael Varane and Willy Quambala have since left the club, with Johnny Evans re-signing and Leny Yoro arriving to fill that gap. Manchester United remain interested in De Ligt despite the struggles in negotiation, in order to add more depth and security to their first third. Another player who may potentially make way from United this summer is right-back Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is reportedly drawing interest from West Ham over the past few days. In light of this, Brazil and Monaco fullback Vanderson has been earmarked by Manchester United as a possible replacement for the Englishman, according to Sky Sports. The Red Devils may face competition for his signature if they are to sell Wan-Bissaka this summer, with Tottenham reportedly viewing him as a replacement for Emerson Royal, and Napoli showing previous interest as well. The 23-year-old has made 84 appearances for AS Monaco and has attracted several suitors this summer. Now let's move on to other transfer news. There's a consensus building in Italy that Sofyan Amrabat could sign for Manchester United this summer, either on another loan deal or a highly discounted permanent transfer. The midfielder was on loan at Old Trafford last season from Fiorentina. Despite having a 20 minute purchase clause, which expired on Sunday, it was always unlikely the Red Devils would use that because it's clear a cheaper deal is available. Firenze Viola report the player's entourage are trying to fulfill his wish of a move to Manchester United. They even point out that he published an Instagram story of himself training today, wearing Manchester United shorts. Of course, that means little, but it's not exactly a great show of commitment to Fiorentina. Over at TMW, they also state Amrabat wants a return to Manchester United. Fiorentina want the situation sorted out quickly, so are ready to talk, whether that be for a paid loan or a discounted transfer. TMW don't mention a fee, although elsewhere in Italy there's been rumours he could go for something around €12 million. Should Manchester United decide against signing him in any of those ways, then the midfielder wants another Premier League club and would refuse other offers. Now let's move on to other transfer news. Manchester United remain interested in Jarrad Branthwaite, but Everton are set to extinguish their hopes of signing the centre-back, per reports. The once-capped England international has been a top target for the Red Devils for much of the summer, having agreed personal terms over a move to Old Trafford. Reports suggest that Branthwaite had verbally accepted a $160,000 per week contract from ManU, significantly more than the $40,000 per week he's currently on. Despite this, the defender has never attempted to force an exit, as he remains happy at Goodison Park and doesn't want to sour his relationship with the Toffees. Everton's position has always been that they would only accept a bid of over 70 million sterling for the 22-year-old, using the 80 million sterling fee Man UTD paid for Harry Maguire, and the 75 million sterling deal that saw Wesley Fofana join Chelsea as justifications for their valuation. Early in the window, it was rumoured that the Toffees could be forced into selling Branthwaite on a cut-price fee in order to comply with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. But the sales of Lewis Dobbin, Ben Godfrey, and now Amadou Onana for roughly 70 million sterling combined have eased those concerns, and now Everton are under zero pressure to sell anyone. Now let's move on to other transfer news. Manchester United are reportedly looking to hijack AC Milan once again this summer, with the Italian club interested in signing AS Monaco midfielder Youssouf Fofana this summer. Milan were seemingly seeking to sign Joshua Zirkzee this summer, before United became interested in the striker. The Old Trafford club are looking to bring in at least one more midfielder this summer, after capturing the signing of Zirkzee, 23, and Lenny Yoro, 18 already. Erik Ten Hag's side require strengthening in a number of key areas to challenge in the Premier League and beyond this coming season. It was reported that Zirkzee had agreed personal terms with the San Siro side prior to United engaging themselves into the transfer for the Netherlands international. The 23-year-old ended up signing a 5-year contract with the Old Trafford club, leaving Milan embarrassed. Reports that original in France, the country that Fofana both plays for and play in, have suggested that United, once again, will test the waters with Milan for the Frenchman, seeing if he would rather sign for the Old Trafford club over the San Siro club, which has led the United winning before. Fofana is predominantly a defensive midfielder who can also play in the central midfield position and in the right midfield position. His contract in Monaco expires in the summer of 2025, less than a year away. United are seeking a player to replace Casemiro, a player the club would like to sell. Saudi Arabian clubs were interested in the former Real Madrid midfielder, but in recent weeks that interest has become nothing of note. However, United still need to strengthen the midfield and find a way to get the club battling for the biggest honours, both domestically and internationally again. During the 2023-24 season, Fofana made a total of 35 appearances for the Ligue 1 club, scoring 4 goals and 4 assists, playing in Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France. The 25-year-old has previously played for Espérance Paris U19, Red Star, Drancy and Strasbourg before playing for Monaco. Get French Football News have reported the interest from both AC Milan and United, also suggesting that the price for the French midfielder will need to be 29.5 million or more for the club to sell the 25-year-old this summer. Now let's move on to other transfer news. Manchester United now have just under 3 weeks to fine-tune their preparations for their season opener against Manchester City at Wembley. United will renew their rivalry with their neighbours in the Community Shield on August 10th after beating them in May's FA Cup final. Sometimes described as a glorified friendly, it will mark their final outing ahead of the Premier League opener against Fulham 6 days later. The Reds will step up their preparations for the forthcoming campaign this week, flying to the United States for their pre-season tour. They will face Arsenal this weekend before taking on Real Betis and Liverpool. United are yet to confirm their travelling squad for the tour, but it is highly likely Lenny Yoro will be the only new signing Erik Ten Hag will take with him. Fellow new recruit Joshua Zirkzee is entitled to 3 weeks off after representing the Netherlands at Euro 2024. United, of course, could add to their squad while in the US, just as they did last year when they swooped for Andre Onana. He was a late addition to the squad after signing 2 days before their opening game of the tour. Having signed a striker and a centre-back so far this summer, United's attention has now switched to bolstering their midfield. They want to bring in a new defensive operator that can sit at the base of the engine room, following Casemiro's sharp decline last season. United have expressed interest in Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi and are continuing to be heavily linked with Manuel Ugarte of Paris Saint-Germain. Elsewhere, AS Monaco's Youssouf Fofana has once again been mentioned as an option. With United still in need of fresh legs, both in midfield and elsewhere, Men's Sport has had a look at what United's ideal 20-man matchday squad could look like once the competitive action gets underway next month, provided they make further progress in the transfer market. Starting with the starting at Onana will continue as the club's first-choice goalkeeper. Ahead of him, Diogo Dalot is primed to remain at right back and be joined in the back four by Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw and Euro. United consider Euro to be a signing for the present and the future, meaning Ten Hag will be keen for him to develop an on-field partnership with Martinez. That combination currently represents United's strongest centre-back pairing on paper. Moving into midfield, Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes are guaranteed starters, leaving just one position up for grabs. That, of course, is the defensive midfield berth. Ugarte is attracting plenty of attention, and the prospect of him arriving at Old Trafford on loan has not been dismissed. United need to raise funds through player sales before committing to more big money deals. As for the attack, competition for places in the wide areas is high. Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford occupied the 2 wide spots for the FA Cup final, and it would not be a surprise to see them start 2024-25 in the same roles. Amad, however, will have ambitions of making the right-wing berth his own after ending last season strongly and impressing against Rangers at Murrayfield Stadium on Saturday. Garnacho is yet to report back for pre-season training after representing Argentina at the Copa America, meaning Amad has a golden opportunity to audition for a starting berth on the tour. In the centre of attack, Rasmus Højlund is expected to remain Ten Hag's first-choice striker. He notched 16 goals in his debut season at Old Trafford and will have aspirations of building on that tally, meaning Xerxes may have to settle for a place on the bench.